Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is me Fatima, business Wali. I am a student of Rehan AI Teachers Training Institute batch 22. So today I am here to discuss a very important topic which asks me how to overcome fear and take bold steps in life. So today we will learn about this topic.
Hey Fatima, what's on your mind tonight?
Today I want to learn the topic how to overcome fear and take bold steps in life.
All right, that's a good one. So, what specifically about fear feels most real for you right now? Like, what's the kind of thing that makes you hesitate to just go for it?
My first question is this: what does fear actually mean in our daily life?
Good starting point. Fear is basically your brain's alarm system that's trying to protect you, but sometimes it gets a little overprotective, right? Like if you're walking down the street and hear a loud noise, your heart races for a second. That's normal. But that same system can also kick in when you're considering something new, something outside your comfort zone, like starting a project, asking someone out, or trying a completely different career path. Feels similar, that racing heart, but the threat's actually way different. So, in daily life, fear keeps us doing things we already know how to do and avoiding situations where we might fail or be uncomfortable. But that can also mean missing out on stuff.
Why do people hesitate to take bold steps?
A bunch of things, honestly. There's the obvious one, fear of failure. We're wired to want to fit in, to look competent, so messing up feels pretty threatening to our social standing. But then there's also fear of the unknown. When you step into something bold, you can't predict the outcome. People like knowing what's coming, and uncertainty is actually pretty stressful. Another one is that bold steps often require risk, right? Maybe putting yourself out there means someone might say no or criticize you, or it just doesn't work out the way you planned. Most people just aren't comfortable with that level of vulnerability.
How can fear stop someone from achieving success?
No, it's sneaky about it. Fear usually doesn't scream, don't try. It works more subtly. It can lead to procrastination because you put things off if they feel overwhelming. Or perfectionism. If you're too afraid to make mistakes, you might never actually finish anything because you're too busy tweaking the details. It can also create analysis paralysis. You spend so much time weighing risks and overthinking that you never actually act. And over time, if you keep listening to that fear voice, you start to get comfortable in a smaller version of your life than you're capable of. It's not that fear stops you from eventually succeeding. It stops you from trying things that might actually lead to real growth and impact.
What are the most common fears that people face in daily life?
Hmm, that's a good question. Beyond the big ones like fear of death, honestly, most daily fears are pretty human. Fear of failure and rejection, that's huge. The judgment from others, especially in social situations. Then there's the anxiety around public speaking or performing in front of people. A lot of people battle imposter syndrome, that feeling that you're not actually as capable as people think you are. Then there's fear of change or uncertainty. People generally like routine, so stepping into the unknown can be scary. Oh, and sometimes just being vulnerable, letting someone truly see who you are versus the version you present to the world. Are any of those standing out to you as things you relate to?
How can we identify the root cause of our fear?
That's the tricky part, right? It's not always obvious. One thing that helps is journaling when you're feeling anxious. Write down what happened right before it started. Look for patterns. Another tactic is asking yourself, what's the worst that could actually happen? Sometimes articulating it makes the fear seem smaller, or at least more manageable. Then there's that childhood question of why. Like, keep asking yourself why until you hit something deeper than surface level fears. If you're afraid of speaking up in meetings, why? Because you might look stupid? Why does that matter? Because people might not like you? And so on. You might be surprised where it leads. Sometimes it's helpful to talk through it with a friend or therapist too. They can offer perspective you can't see yourself.
Is fear always a bad thing or it can be useful?
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you repeat the PR part? It sounded a bit garbled.
My question is this: is fear always a bad thing or it can be useful?
Ah, that makes sense. No, absolutely not. Fear isn't always bad. Actually, it's pretty essential for survival. If you're crossing the street and see a car coming, fear is a good thing. It makes you stop and not get hit. In daily life, that hesitation before doing something risky can actually be smart. It makes you pause and think through consequences, prepare better. The problem isn't really fear itself, it's what we do with it. If fear paralyzes you and keeps you from trying anything, then yeah, it's holding you back. But if you can acknowledge the fear, feel it, then move forward anyway, that's where it becomes a tool rather than a roadblock.
How does self confidence help in overcoming fear?
Confidence acts like a buffer, honestly. When you generally believe in your ability to handle things, even when you're stepping into something scary, that voice telling you you'll mess up isn't as loud. Like, imagine two versions of you: one who thinks, I can't do this, I'll probably fail, versus one who thinks, okay, this is new. There's a chance I'll stumble, but I can figure it out. Which version is more likely to at least try? Plus, confidence isn't, just some personality trait. It's built up over time. Every small victory, every challenge you overcome, it adds to your inner trust. So you're not just facing fear with nothing. You've got a track record of handling stuff already.
What are the simple practical ways to deal with fear?
Okay, some concrete stuff you can actually do. One that works for a lot of people is breaking things down. If you're scared of applying for a job, instead of focusing on getting the job, focus on just updating your resume. Small steps. Another one is exposure therapy, like deliberately putting yourself in slightly uncomfortable situations to get used to them. Start small. Another one that's underrated is deep breathing when you feel anxiety creeping in. It really does help calm the nervous system. And then there's the mindset thing. Challenge the negative thoughts. Ask yourself, is this fear realistic or am I just catastrophizing? Maybe it'll sound cheesy, but visualization helps too. Picturing yourself successfully handling the scary thing you're dreading.
How can small steps help in building courage?
It's like this. Courage isn't some heroic thing you're either born with or you're not. It's more like muscle. You build it up. And the key is starting ridiculously small. Taking one tiny step that feels slightly uncomfortable, then another, then another. Each small win builds confidence. Oh, I did that scary thing and I'm still here. And that makes the next step feel a little less daunting. It's a snowball effect. Plus, when you're starting small, the stakes feel lower, so you're less afraid of failure. It's way less overwhelming than trying to leap into something massive all at once.
What role does mindset play in overcoming fear?
Massive role. It's huge. If you see fear as a sign to stop, like, oh, I'm feeling scared, I shouldn't do this, then it becomes a self fulfilling prophecy. But if you can reframe it as, oh, I'm feeling scared, that actually means I'm pushing myself and trying something worthwhile, then it starts to shift. Mindset is about seeing challenge as growth instead of threat. It's about focusing on learning instead of perfection. It's also about self compassion, giving yourself permission to be imperfect, to try, fail, and learn without beating yourself up about it. A growth mindset allows you to bounce back from setbacks instead of getting stuck in fear and giving up.
Okay, my last question. What are the first steps to becoming more courageous?
Okay, here's the practical stuff. First, pick something small, really small, like ridiculously easy. Not quit your job and move to Bali small, but say hi to someone you usually avoid small, or research one class you might want to take. Second, plan it out, not like write a 10-page document, but just decide when and how you'll do it. Third, when you feel the fear creep in, acknowledge it, don't fight it, just notice it. And finally, do the damn thing, even if you stumble. That's it. Repeat with slightly bigger steps. Focus on the small wins. Courage isn't this massive leap, it's a series of tiny forward movements. The hardest part is usually just starting with that first baby step.
Okay, thank you, Maya.
You got it, Fatima. Go try something small tomorrow. You might surprise yourself. Talk soon.
So that's all about the conversation. I hope you learned something new in this conversation. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me. Allah Hafiz.